On a textured white background, different shapes including a dark blue circle in line, a green circle, and a red plus symbol in line animate around the screen as bold text animates in the center that reads, "Understanding my homeowner's insurance." The scene transitions to the next title screen using a quick dark blue colored circle animation. This screen includes the textured white background, an animated dark blue circle in line, a large green circle, a red line and plus symbol, and a photo of modern suburban homes under a sunset sky. Text animates on the screen that reads, "What's covered in my policy?" The scene transitions to the next title screen with the textured white background. Animated shapes are seen again, including the dark blue circle and lines, a larger green circle, and a red line and plus symbol. A photograph of a hand holding a calculator and a person pointing a pen at a model house. Text animates on the screen that reads, "Understand my deductible."
Today we'll be discussing what you should know about your homeowner insurance, what's covered, how to read your policy, and how to understand your deductible.
The scene fades to a shot of a man with fair skin, short dark hair, and light green eyes. He is wearing a light blue button-down shirt. A title bar appears at the bottom of the screen with text that reads, "Dan, Consumer Service Center, Minnesota Department of Commerce."
Let's begin by talking about what's covered and what's not covered when your property is damaged in events like hail, windstorms, thefts, or fires.
A 4-quadrant split screen displays the different types of property damage. On the top left, swirling storm clouds. On the top right, large hailstones bouncing off a brown-tiled roof. On the bottom left, a fire burning on a bed inside a room, with flames rising from the mattress and pillows. And on the bottom right, a person wearing black gloves reaching into an open dresser drawer, suggesting a theft or burglary. The scene then fades back to Dan.
Property damage typically covers damage to your home, other structures on your property like your garage and shed, and personal items like furniture and jewelry.
On the left side of the screen next to Dan, text appears that reads, "Property coverage includes your garage, your shed, your furniture, your jewelry." Under jewelry in parenthesis brackets, text reads, "May contain limits on amount covered."
Property coverage does not cover flood damage. What else is not covered by your homeowner policy? It does not cover structures on your property that are rented out or used for business.
On the left side of the screen next to Dan, text appears that reads, "Property coverage does not include any flood damage, rented structures, business items."
Similarly, if you operate a business out of your home, some of your business items may not be covered under your policy. One thing that is covered is personal items inside your home.
The scene fades to a man in his living room using his cell phone to photograph a painting of a mountain, followed by the man standing in the kitchen photographing a leaf blower that is sitting on the countertop.
That's why it's important to create a home inventory to document these items, such as jewelry, furniture, and artwork. If you would like to learn how to create a home inventory, go to the Minnesota Department of Commerce website and search for home inventory.
The scene fades to a dark blue background with a tablet on the right scrolling through the Minnesota Department of Commerce website. Text animates onto the left side that reads, "Home Inventory, mn.gov/commerce." The text and the tablet animate off the screen. The scene then fades back to Dan.
To understand more what your policy covers, look for these 3 things in your policy.
On the left side of the screen next to Dan, text appears that reads, "Things to review. 1. Matching coverage."
First, check to see if you have matching coverage. When parts of your home are damaged and you're getting a new roof or siding to replace the damaged parts, matching coverage means your policy also covers replacing undamaged roofing so they match the new roofing and siding.
A title screen appears with a photo on the right side of a damaged roof and text on the left that reads, "Match coverage. Covers replacing undamaged roofing, siding to match new roof or siding." The scene then fades back to Dan.
Without matching coverage, you could end up with a home with 2 slightly different colors of siding or different roof shingles that don't match.
On the left side of the screen next to Dan, text appears that reads, "Things to review. 2. Actual versus replacement."
Second, check to see if you have actual cash value or replacement cash value. Actual cost means your insurer will reduce your claim payment based on how old the parts of the damaged home are worth.
A title screen appears with a photo on the right side of modern suburban homes under a sunset sky, and text on the left that reads, "Actual cost. Reduced claim payment based on how old part of damaged home is worth." The scene then fades back to Dan.
So a roof that has shingles that are 20 years old would be worth much less in actual value than a roof that is only 5 years old. That's not likely to cover the cost for new roofing and siding. If your policy has replacement cost, Your claim should get paid for the cost to cover new roofing and siding.
A title screen appears with a photo on the left side of a house nestled in a winter landscape. The ground, the roof, and the bare branches of surrounding trees are heavily coated in white snow. Text on the right side reads, "Replacement cost. Claim covers cost of new replacement parts." The scene then fades back to Dan. On the left side of the screen next to Dan, text appears that reads, "Things to review 3. Declaration page."
The third item to check on your policy is the declarations page. This page has a summary of your policy coverage and its limits.
The scene fades to a man sitting at a table filling out insurance paperwork. The scene fades to a close-up of the document. The man has circled the term deductibles, and he is seen circling the deductible amount. The scene fades back to Dan with text appearing on his left that reads, "Things to review, deductible."
As always, make sure to discuss with your insurance provider if there's anything you don't understand. Finally, we are going to talk about your deductible. This is the amount you pay before your insurance starts covering your claim costs. Traditionally, deductibles were a set dollar amount, like $500.
A title screen appears with text that reads, "Calculating your deductible. Traditional deductible. Claim total $50,000. Insurer pay $49,000. You pay $500.
So if you have a $50,000 claim to replace a roof damaged by hail or wind, your out-of-pocket costs would be just the $500 deductible. That's changing. More policies now have deductibles that are a percentage of the total value of your home.
A title screen appears with text that reads, "Calculating your deductible. Common deductible. Home value, $340,000. 1% deductible, $3,400.
For example, if your home is worth $340,000 and has a deductible of 1%, you would pay $3,400. In some cases, the deductible may be determined by the cost of the replacement.
The scene fades back to Dan.
Read your policy to make sure you understand what your policy does. Your deductible may change from one year to the next, so check each year. While many carriers do still provide a set dollar deductible, it's important to check to avoid any surprises. Now that you know more about the basics of your homeowner insurance, be sure to ask your insurance company about any questions you may have.
On the left side of the screen next to Dan, text appears that reads, "Read your policy every year. Review your policy for potential changes to your coverage or deductible."
The most important thing to do is to read your policy completely and read it every year, as policies change all the time. You don't want to be surprised when you make a claim and find out your policy doesn't cover something you thought it did.
A white background fades in with a computer monitor on the left, showing the Minnesota Department of Commerce website's insurance page, and text appears on the right that reads, "mn.gov/commerce. Search for homeowners insurance."
If you have any further questions, search for the Minnesota Department of Commerce's homeowners insurance page.
A quick circle animation reveals the Minnesota Department of Commerce logo on a white background.